So a lot of the questions that I get asked
Mhm.
is a couple things. How many sessions?
Yes.
And also about how long does it last or does it reverse if you stop doing it?
Mhm.
And so the question about sessions really has to do a lot with what each person is dealing with.
Mhm.
Some people might find that 20 sessions and they feel amazing and they're great and they're moving on.
Mhm.
Some people might find that it's 25, 30. Some people might feel that it's something that needs to be more worked into like a sort of a wellness practice for themselves.
Mhm.
But I think our data kind of shows that, around that 20 session mark, most people are indicating, they're feeling some type of significant shift or benefit to using
Yeah.
neurofeedback.
Yeah. And it really is going to vary from client to client. I've had quite a few clients that notice a change after that very first session, which is really wonderful because that helps you understand the level of change that's truly possible. You're bought in to the process right out of the gate, whether that's improved sleep, decreased irritability, something like that. I mean, it's a little less tangible than some other modalities in terms of seeing that direct change and direct result from a singular session. I think our protocol typically recommends 20 sessions, but for some people, 5 or 6 is going to be enough. And there's no requirement on frequency either. You can do up to 2 a day, you can be doing them daily. When I was using it a lot during the pandemic and I was at my capacity with stress level, I was renting a system from Jen and I would borrow it every weekend. And I'd do a session on a Friday night, I'd do a Saturday morning, I'd do a Sunday morning, and maybe a Monday morning, and then return the system. And I was doing that just about every week, if every other week, until I hit my 20. And now I'm on a much more maintenance level,
Mhm.
just kind of doing boosters when I notice I'm a little bit more irritated by the frequency of emails, or somebody at work is driving me nuts, or I'm just not concentrating as well. My sleep is disrupted. Those are the indicators to me that that booster session might be really useful.
Yeah, and as far as, if you reach the level that you feel you're feeling good,
Mhm.
it doesn't reverse because of the neuroplasticity and the rewiring, is what most people call it,
Mhm.
of the brain, and those patterns dissipating, they're gone. Once that sort of pathway is filled in, it's filled in. But that doesn't mean that life doesn't happen and other things don't come up. And again,
Sure.
that's where you can go to boost or, do
Mhm.
another round of sessions. However, overall, it is making the brain more flexible and resilient. So
Yeah.
the need to constantly do it starts to be reduced.
I think I get a lot of questions as well about what they're seeing on the screen. When you have the
Mhm.
matrix mirror running, you're going to see all these bars and colors that are moving at different levels of expansion or contraction. And I get a lot of questions like, what does the yellow mean? Or should I be working on getting the pink to be a smaller bar? And that's where we, again, really encourage you to trust the system and trust your own tracking. Trying to track what is happening on the screen, it's moving too quickly for you to have that real time impact. So trying to trust, I want fewer purple bars isn't the goal. What you're looking at is what your lived experience is. Am I sleeping better? Am I noticing I can focus better? Am I finding that mental acuity to be stronger? That's going to come in two components, I really feel. The tracking sheets that your trainer or your provider, whoever you're renting a system from, is going to provide to you. And again, protocol typically recommends every 10 sessions or once a month running through that tracking where you can compare against your own notes and your own feedback to self
Mhm.
what changes you're observing. And then the advantage that I feel I have as a clinician too is I might observe something in my client that I've been working with that I know intimately. I might notice a behavioral shift or change that they're not picking up on or perceiving right away. I mean, some people are much more self aware and can say, hey, I noticed this immediately. But sometimes it's the more finite things that are harder to put your finger on. Again, having a client relay a story to me and being able to share with me how much more regulated they were handling that intense moment rather than being immediately overwhelmed and being able to call that out. Hey, that might be one of the benefits of your neuro training, that you are staying much more regulated. You've calmed your central nervous system, that you can handle that stressor without the same predetermined reactions that you used to have in the past.
So normally what you can expect during a session, is you're going to see your provider, or if you're doing it at home, you will just, find a comfortable place, a chair, wherever
Mhm.
it is that you can lay down, and you'll be hooked up to the sensors. Again, it's 33 minutes. Normally, what happens is I find that a lot of people just feel very calm during a session, especially the more that they start doing. Maybe the first couple, you're not used to having 30 minutes to yourself, so you aren't as calm. But the more sessions you're doing, and then also, like, normally, what I say to my clients is when they leave, especially those first couple, you might feel calmer than usual, sleep better that first night. And of course, to have it be sustained, you do more
Mhm,
sessions, sort of like working out.
mhm.
But
I don't get a lot of reports about a negative side effect after the fact. Maybe just feeling different. Again, if you're used to being go, go, go all the time, being in that relaxed state might feel a little more foreign. That doesn't mean it's bad. Even a headache or something like that, or an increase in anxiety, you have shifted something in your brain waves. So that is still indication that it's working because there is a shift. There's something different in your experience. That's not altogether bad.
And also, that is the brain deciding for itself that that's the shift it needs to take to
Mhm.
get to whatever the end result is.
Yeah.